Hello all, this is JC3 from Is This Real? Do you want to start your own podcast? Then look no further than Buzzsprout.com. We here at Green Hour Media use Buzzsprout, and we love the team at Buzzsprout. They are all about helping you succeed. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. Follow the link in our show notes to let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. It gets you a $20 paid Amazon gift card if you sign up with a paid plan and helps support our show. Join us and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout.com to get your message out to the world.
From the Keith Vincicalo Studios in Paterson, New Jersey, Green Arrow Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, our topic is going to be the Black Ops. What's going on in our country? Now, your host, JC3.
Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Is This Real? This week's episode, as Dad said, is about Black Ops and Black Ops conspiracy theories. Now, we are back. JC3's back. Big Joe's on the other side of the booth. Dad, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our program.
We're back, and as usual, we got Roadblock here.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody?
And we got Mr. West on the other side. Mr. West? Konbawa. Okay. So this week's episode is, like I said, about Black Ops and, what they're doing with the budget for Black Ops and some conspiracy theories about stuff about Black Operations or Black Ops operations. Because there's a lot of funky, weird shit going on in the country behind the scenes that nobody really knows about. But a lot of people are trying to open people's eyes that are going on. And I'm just letting everyone know that this is the season finale for Part A of Season 4.
Wouldn't that be the mid-season finale?
Well, no, because they're two different seasons.
It's still the same season. It's a mid-season. It's mid-season finale.
It's Season 4, and it's the middle.
I don't know that because if you look at Sopranos, when they split up Season 6 into Part A and Part B,
the fuck is Sopranos?
They went season finale of Part A and then season finale for Part B. So, blow me. So, back to Black Ops.
Not the video game.
Not the video game. Yes, not the video game. We are not associated with the video game. We're not talking about the video game. That's on the Failing Podcast and Multimedia Mafia over there.
Wow.
But I'm joking. I love you guys.
And he's the head of the company. Can you imagine where we're at?
The shade.
I hope he shanks you.
He's not going to do anything.
Yes, he will.
So, Dad, tell me what is Black Operations?
All right, before I do that, I just want to say, because it's the beginning of the show, I just want to say a big prop to last week. The show that Anthony and Sarah on, they did a remarkable job, and it was refreshing to hear two other voices in this booth.
I'll just go
and
myself.
I think it was a good thing.
It's not all about you, Joey.
Big shout out to the two of them, and we'll go on now. Black Operations started in 1947. It was created with the same people who created the CIA.
Oh, shit.
And basically what it does is it takes anywhere between $50 billion to $80 billion or more from the military budget, and it is not accountable to anybody. This is, in my opinion, it's a problem when things are not accountable. They don't account it. It's not accountable to the president. Certain members of Congress do get briefed on stuff. If they do it at all, that's what they do. To me, that's just heinous because, this is our money and we should be, if they want to do, crazy stuff with it, just say, look, we're doing stuff with it, but we're taking this amount of money. And, right now, they're not accountable. They're not accountable to anyone. They can do whatever they want, like I said. And as we go on tonight, I'll give you different examples of stuff that really wasn't. It was borderline Black Op, like the Gulf of Tonkin incident that got us into the Vietnam War.
Wait, hold on. When you say Black Ops, is this the same thing as like covert?
Covert, clandestine, stuff that's not being told to anybody. Area 51, covert, clandestine. That's probably
like
the biggest.
Classified stuff.
Right. Classified. Well, not even classified. It's not. They work. What they do is they work in the shadows. They'll work with Blackwater, as Joshua saw before in Blackwater, the company Blackwater, and what they'll do is they'll it's deniability for the U.S. government. In other words, well, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't just blow up that helicopter full of people, or we didn't do this, or we didn't do that.
So it's like a scapegoat where
exactly
that the government can do whatever they want, but they hire, I guess, other people to do it for them.
Yes. Now Blackwater is a company that
it basically goes with I don't know if you to put it in modern references to the people that live out. You know The Office, right?
Okay, yeah.
You know one of Michael's characters, Blind Guy McSqueezy? When he puts on the sunglasses and he starts like going like this, that's what the government basically becomes. Blind Guy McSqueezy. And they're like, oh, I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
I'm not squeezing these boobs.
That's not okay. Anyway, go on, Dad.
Well, that's basically that's it in a nutshell, and it's been going on for now the better part of 80 years, whatever, since 1942, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
And it's not only our country that does this. Our country, I mean, you have Turkey that does it, you have Israel that does it, you have England that does it. The UK has been notorious with it, MK Ultra, stuff like that, which I know is one of your favorite subjects.
MK Ultra.
Okay, this is the kind of things that is going on,
I got a song called MK Ultra.
and
John,
basically in our country and around the world, and people that are funding it are not being brought into the loop for because they want to keep everything quiet. And it ranges from secret military operations to assassinations to performing tests on people without their knowledge, medical tests.
Politics and stuff too.
A lot of things. Yeah, politics, rigging elections, changing regimes in different countries. It's been going on forever. So basically, that's the background of what's going on. Now we can get into some other stories about it, and we can I can give you some things, but I don't know which way you want to take that, Joe. So
we'll this first little segment, the first 15, we'll go into just talking about little things but basically, yes, we're not associated with the video game, but Black Ops, the shit that happened inside the Black Ops storyline.
Can we just say covert operations? Just to
covert. No, I'm saying the video game, the shit that happened within that storyline. It's the same type of shit that really does happen. Like they send people into countries to take out
camps and
bases and bases and to
intelligence.
Well,
and shit.
I think some of that could be a misconception, only for the fact that the government, from what I've seen, heard, learned, that to a degree they can do covert operations, like you just mentioned, Eric, but there's still traces of that, but then that ends up turning into them storing documents with, I believe we've said it once, really early on in the podcast, with redacted material, where everything's blacked out.
Okay, yeah. Wait, but then
the government technically does have ties to that, but you can't know the actual details.
So a Black Ops operation wouldn't have no type of paperwork, no type of trail whatsoever?
Exactly. That's the whole point of the actual Black Ops,
but
is what Dad brought up about Blackwater.
But I thought that Covert and Blackwater, Covert and Black Ops were pretty much the same thing.
No,
they are to a degree.
One has more paperwork than the other does.
One has paperwork, the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
The covert operations can be tied to government, and which is why we've seen in the past those files that have all those black markers on
when after what is it? I think 25 years that they can declassify material and
shit.
shit.
I'll give you a perfect example of the two. A Black Op would be an operation basically to take out another government, another country, and they're not going to tell us how they're doing it. They're going to send people over there to create chaos, to fight amongst themselves and do it. Now that's a Black Op.
What happened in Haiti. They think that might be a Black Ops with the president that died, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
now that's
we
a whole
don't know
another
who
theory.
that's connected to.
Right.
That's what would be a Black Ops.
Now, a covert operation would be something along the line of something. And look this up, Josh. It's called the Northwoods document. What that is in 1962, I believe it was, or 61, our military wanted to invade Cuba. And they just couldn't go and invade Cuba because they did in the United States. The people would go, "What the fuck are you people doing? You can't do that." So what they did was they invented General Lemitzer at the time invented or put together what they call the Northwoods document. And what that was He wanted covertly. They were going to paint some United States planes as Cuban planes. They were going to send Cuban mercenaries over the wall into the United States Embassy in Cuba to start a riot against our own people, to make it look like Cuba is attacking us. They were gonna literally land or shoot these planes down, or the planes were gonna fly over Florida. They wanted to make it look like the United States was being invaded by Cuba, so then we can react and we can go after them. Again, what I said over and over again, problem, reaction, solution. You create the problem, you wait for the reaction, and then you give the solution that you want all along. And that's exactly what the difference is between a covert operation and a black op. A black op, you're not going to know about it. You're going to turn on the news one day and you're going to see riots in, let's just pick Iran, and then people are shooting each other in Iran or whatever. That's what we want. We want a regime change over there. We want a regime change in certain countries. So we'll start all kinds of fights over there. We'll use whatever we have to use to get it done.
Well, that's where like
but
these
not going to tell you.
That's where like these TV shows that show like, oh, this could be happening, where it's like it's fictitious, but it's like pretty much based off like Black Ops and like real
I don't know
shit that's happening.
I know,
right?
Josh, but again, to put it in layman's terms, I don't know, Dad. I don't think you've seen. I know you've seen the movie, but it's a comic book by DC, The Losers.
No, I've never seen it.
No.
You know The Losers, right, Josh?
I've heard of it. I never really got into it, but I know what you're
So The
referencing.
Losers are basically a Black Ops team, and the comic book is based on them and what their missions within. They don't have any superpowers or anything like that. It's just a cool ass comic book, and they have basically no rules. Like in the movie, it stars Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Chris Evans, and how you open it is they're in a camp.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. They're in a camp and they're trying to shoot the leader of a camp, and they're in like Costa Rica or some shit like that. And it's like nobody knows they're supposed to be there. When the plane comes, they get shot down and they get turned, and they're all supposed to be dead, but not really dead. So it's
one of those.
Yeah, so it's like that's what they are. It's these people. 90% of the time, you're not gonna know them in real life. They're gonna fall off the face of the planet, and they're not gonna be the people who carry out these missions. They're not gonna have an identity. They're not. It's not gonna be like, oh, my next door neighbor Bob went over to Costa Rica and he's getting back today.
You're not even gonna know. The thing is so secretive. Like that's the. I want to say like the actual extreme difference between them. Like what Dad just said about the Operation Northwoods, like you can punch onto any search engine, and one of the things that will first pop up, it'll actually tell you that it's the justification for U.S. military intervention in Cuba. Like you can find that type of documentation, even though this is years later. So
right.
You're gonna be able to see this.
Whereas you should be able to see.
Well, the Northwood document, if you do your research, you can actually print out the Northwood document free of the redactions. It's not there anymore because it was declassified.
Yeah. Whereas with Black Ops, you wouldn't even know the name that they were even involved. There wasn't. It would be like me hiring you. Like a job does, to do something. Whereas in Black Ops, they'll give you the money, but there won't be any trace.
Right.
It's like they can literally throw a briefcase at you and say, do this, and then that's it. You're only going to know it because there was some kind of exchange that is completely illegitimate.
And then at that point, you'll sit there and the government will be like, no, we don't know what you're talking about. We didn't do that.
The government has plausible deniability at that point. That's what they need, because look, we're
just paying these guys for security. Here's
a perfect example.
But that's a fucking problem. Then, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it is. Here's a perfect example. You can consider what happened during Barack's presidency when he said that the terrorist was killed.
Bin Laden?
Yes.
Right.
Well,
you can technically call that covert because no one knew about it prior to him actually saying it.
Right.
I mean, the whole Bin Laden being killed is a whole different thing.
There was traces, and that is like covert. You could probably find, I don't know if you could, but if you did your homework, you could probably
Can I just say this right now?
Bin Laden's been dead since 2001, I know it.
Yeah, but it's not even that. And Bin Laden's been dead since 2001, and they killed basically the entire Navy team, the SEALs team that were supposed to kill him.
That's
you know
a
why they killed
podcast
him?
all by itself,
Yeah.
Joe.
That's
what I'm saying. But you know why they killed him? Because they didn't kill anybody.
That's
but anywho,
unfortunate thing. That's a different topic.
Yes, I just had to get that out there. I'm sorry. Because we did not cover that in our 9/11 episode.
You're
Well, I
right,
mean, well,
because
technically-
it's too much.
No, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, that just so
It
Eric
clicked.
knows.
It clicked. So I was just like, wait, no, I'll take it back. I'll take it
So
back.
that's what the difference between Black Ops and
Covert.
Covert is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Again.
there are traces, basically.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
difference.
and
So pretty much like a Black Ops mission would be like pretty much like how in the video game, like your commander or something says, "Yo, I got a mission just for you" or something like that.
yeah, and you saw basically even in the video game they showed they redact everything.
Yeah, you know how the mission starts and then the black goes across. Like you see it at first, but then black goes across.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, like you'll get probably not paperwork per se,
You'll get like small details, like okay,
and then it will be redacted. So what's the point of me putting them on paper?
It's like so you'll be at
only for
this
the person.
location at this time with these people. That's
Yeah.
it. And you're gonna do this. and
Black
that's it.
Ops are usually compartmentalized. In other words, if I want something done or whatever, and I know I can get it done, I'm gonna go to one person and I'm gonna give him this much, and he's gonna give that next person this much, and I mean, I know this is off topic. This is exactly how this works. Okay, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I know it's off topic. I get it,
Yeah, no.
but the recipe for Kentucky Fried Chicken is held in 2 different states. It's 11 herbs and spices. You have 5 here and 6 in another
I'm going to be
state.
really pissed off if one of them is not Kentucky.
And basically what that is so you can get those 5, but you're not going to get all 11. You know, now, again, it's never held in the same place at the same time. It's compartmentalized. It's very simple. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, because if you do that, then it's easy to trace. And you don't want to do that, and then you can't deny it. You can't say, "Well, I had nothing to do with it," or "It wasn't my idea." If you can say, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. I was talking about A. I don't know why he ran with it." You know, it's a fucking game, and it's exactly what's going on. But I think the problem with all of that is basically when we're paying for something, we should be at least kept in the loop.
Because like as a citizen that fucking pays taxes and shit, like if I know that some of this money that I'm
To the government, that don't mean shit.
but it don't matter.
Anywho, we're going to take a short little quick break, and we're going to get right back into this.
Well, it does matter.
No, it doesn't. And we're going to get right back into it.
It does matter. He's right.
All right, we'll be right back.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Hogs to win seal. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics.
Hey, how you doing? You like movies? We like movies. You like music? So do we. And books, and video games, and television. We are Multimedia Mafia, and we like to discuss all of those things. And we drop a new episode every single Wednesday. So come check us out, or a couple of guys from Jersey is going to pay you a visit.
And welcome back from our, I guess, short break. So we're going to go into...
It was short to them.
It was short to them, yes. We're going to go into different operations, whether we believe they're true or not. Not true. They happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, these are actually stuff that we can...
But it doesn't...
But it doesn't make sense, though, because if it's not supposed to be heard of, then how the fuck do we know about it?
Well, it all comes under covert and clandestine. Black Ops cover everything, but it's where it gets split down the middle, where stuff is covertly done that you can see, and Black Ops are not. And again,
well, some Black Ops missions are so far out, like 50 years old, shit comes true,
and they become actually theories at that point.
Yeah, and then they
come. Prove it.
It's not theories, yes, but it's also kind of like stories told from generation to generation because it's from people who were there.
Right, but again, a black op you're never going to prove. Where a covert operation you can prove, and one example is the one you were given before, the Jade Helm.
Oh yeah,
that's
a theory. That's a theory because shit was happening.
Wait, what's Jade Helm?
We'll get to that later. But
wait, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we're gonna get to your part. We already explained this.
All right.
Jade Helm was happening. It's the theory behind what Jade Helm was supposed to be. But Dad, go into the shit you were going to talk about.
Okay, basically in this country what we have paramilitary elite units that are being sponsored by our military. And I'm going to give you a little list of them here right now, but I'm not going to give you what they do because we'll be here all night. You have the USMC Fleet Anti-Terrorism Security Team, also known as FAST. It's ready for rapid deployment when U.S. government installations throughout the world require additional security. The USAF Para-Rescue Men, PJ, the primary mission of the U.S. Air Force's, whatever that word was, is to recover aircrew members who are either downed or involved in harsh areas of the, whatever.
Okay, so they rescue people with parachutes.
They rescue people who are servicemen that are in trouble somewhere.
Well, come on, it's kind of true.
The U.S. Army 75th Ranger Regiment, the elite infantry unit, also known as Rangers, is a special operations unit headquartered at Fort Benning, Georgia. The unit is made up of single special troops battalion and 3 special operations battalions, specially trained with a variety of skills needed for several different specialized missions. So, not telling you what those missions are.
Do they tell you when they were created though?
No, they do not. Okay. This one, the U.S. Army 75th Ranger Regiment, basically can be. They respond to any crisis within 18 hours. That's how fast that they operate. The USMC.
Them motherfuckers have to be right there, okay, call them.
They are the definition of motherfuckers on go, bro. Yeah,
they don't
call them, they on
time.
Go time. It's green light anytime.
Right. And these are all, now the ones I'm reading here are basically all units that would carry out anything covert or clandestine. They'd be part of it. The USMC and Anglico, the U.S. Marine Corps Special Forces, Anglico, are most noted for their proficiency in controlling close air support. They are, however, also trained in ground-based fires such as canyon and rocket artillery and precision-guided munitions. Okay, let's see what else we got here. MARSOC Raiders. It sounds kind of intimidating. Activated in February 2006, the Specially Trained Marine Corps Group is a module command of the U.S. Special Operations Command encompassing the USMC's contribution to SOCOM, Southern whatever.
Communication?
Yes. The primary capabilities of MARSOC include direct action, special reconnaissance, and also foreign internal defense. Okay.
The fuck does that mean?
That basically would be if another country was being taken over that we were supporting, we would send them in there.
So anything that has to do with the whatchamacallit, right?
Like Crimea or all the stuff that there are allies, but they want us to be involved in it. So we would send these guys over there, and they would set up how to help them protect themselves. Okay, U.S.
I'm sorry, bro. That shit sounds like the dumbest shit in the world, bro. Like, why we got people over there?
Well, okay, so...
Well, they're allies. We have to protect our allies.
Yeah, because basically...
somebody else will take our allies from us.
But it's not even that. Nobody wants to go through another Hitler. And, I mean, granted, yes, you have to sit there and say, yes, you have to defend yourself, do this, do that. But at one point, if the United States did not get involved in World War II, probably all of Europe would have been taken over by Hitler and Germany.
Well, they would have got together and taken out Russia. Don't forget, Russia and the United States were allies.
Yes. At that point, they were, yes.
Right, and, and then Patton wanted to go right into and take out Russia, too, and they said no. So what happened? They were in some kind of an accident, and he died. Anyway, let's get back to this list here. The U.S. Army Intelligence Support Activity. Of course, there's nothing about that. USMC Force Reconnaissance activated in June 1957. The USMC Force Reconnaissance is capable of performing both deep reconnaissance as well as direct action operations. This specialized task force is trained to operate independently behind enemy lines while unconventional special ops while supporting conventional warfare. The primary focus is to support the marine, expeditionary, and amphibious operations. In other words, they're basically standing there with their guns in their hand. They're helping out other operations. Now we get to the heavy ones. If anybody said special operations to any of you guys or a unit, what would be the number one unit that you guys would come up with? Did we hear about and we talk about, and like you mentioned earlier,
Navy SEALs?
The Navy SEALs. Okay.
Them motherfuckers are crazy.
The Navy SEALs, they're telling you what about the Navy SEALs,
What?
but they're not telling you what they are.
The Navy SEAls are crazy.
They are
like crazy good. Like shit.
You ever seen some of them training videos, bro? Like bro.
Oh yeah, like I
would
could
crack.
swim, but goddamn.
Bro, I would crack, bro. Like I would really crack. Like they would really break me, like completely break me, like.
Another
Sit
one
in
would
the
be
corner.
the U.S. Army Delta Force. The U.S. Army Delta Force unit generally consists of versatile, quiet professionals. They're involved in unconventional warfare, special reconnaissance, counterterrorism, information operations, as well as various other roles. Delta Force operators refer to themselves as the unit. Delta Force first was recognized or organized in November of '77.
Scratching my arm.
Oh.
And is known for its versatility in conducting various types of covert operations, such as hostage rescue and raids. Okay, and now we get to the number one, and there's no information on it. The DevGru SEAL Team 6. They were the ones
that took out Bin Laden,
Bin
right?
Laden.
And most of them are dead.
And well, that's a podcast for another day. But the little information.
There's like one guy left.
And he wrote the book on how they killed Bin Laden.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Information about DevGru remains highly classified, and neither the White House nor the Department of Defense will comment on the details of its activities. So there you go. There's what we have in our government.
So a lot of these are Marines.
Right. The
Marines are fucking crazy.
Marines are nuts.
Hoorah.
But thank God for the Marines because they make me sleep better at night.
They know where we live.
Yeah, them motherfuckers will come in.
No, like okay, so yeah, so Delta 6 again, they were the ones who took out Bin Laden, allegedly, and then 90% of the team, 99% of the team, well, no, I don't think it was 90. I think 6 of them died in an airplane crash or a helicopter crash, I believe it was, right? I think it was 6 of them.
Yeah.
And like I think 2 others died of like cancer or something like that.
Well, what a wonderful way of keeping a secret.
And then there's just one guy, and I remember specifically after the Bin Laden, the Bin Laden news broke, and we killed Bin Laden.
Yeah, that was like the most random thing in the world.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah,
as when it happened.
The sky is blue, the birds are chirping. By the way, Bin Laden's dead, and then we moved on. And then the guy, because I remembered, you guys know the CBS show 60 Minutes, right?
60 Minutes.
Yes, and I remember he was on, and they literally had him describe how they entered the building, shot Bin Laden, and was like, yes, this is what we did. I'm like, you're the only motherfucker left. The only guy, and he's making so much money off of that story too. Because they did a whole movie about that also.
Yeah.
Like he made so much money off of that.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hello, nerds. Come listen to the History Nerds United podcast, and let's make history fun again. We interview today's best authors, whether they are established Pulitzer Prize winners or someone debuting their first book. Let us show you that history is not a boring class you took in high school, but a place where the best stories come from. And we don't just cover history, we also love to chat about true crime, biographies, memoirs, and so much more. So head on over to History Nerds United and let us introduce you to your new favorite book and learn the story behind the story.
History Nerds United.
It's actually kind of scary how profitable that story was in all aspects. Like they made a movie, the talk shows, the one guy surviving, stuff like that. It's kind of terrifying the fact that they can sit there and monetize something like that.
Yeah.
And even
Dude, you can
if
monetize anything.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's
I don't know
terrifying that you would monetize something like that.
Is that so much as monetizing it, or is that a reward for this guy to go along with the story and actually account the story the way the government accounted it?
Well, but
That's
also,
the even
which
more
is not
terrifying part.
They're not supposed to do that, by the way.
but at the same time, though,
They're not supposed to do that. SEAL Team 6 is covert. You're not supposed to know about it. Why is he writing books about it? Why is he promoting the story that the government wants to promote?
and at the same
So you gotta
time,
look at it.
like you have to sit there and look at it for something.
Doesn't that break like their contract or something?
For something like Bin Laden, though,
Goes exactly
because
against what they're
9/11
supposed
was such a big thing, they're going to.
Well,
they
that's
gotta make
that's my
that,
point about it. Not to get off on a different subject here, but
Well, no, it goes off with it in
if,
this whole
if this
area.
operation was a black operation, and all indications it was, that they're trying to tell you.
Yeah, 'cause we
why
didn't know
the
that
fuck
they
is
were
this
going
guy
after
writing
him.
books? Why are we seeing movies about it? Okay, why are we learning that they supposedly dumped his body in the ocean?
Yeah, like fucking
Why is he talking
a
about it?
Decepticon.
You don't talk about stuff like that. You just don't. And yet, but somehow he's writing books. He's going on a talk show. He's on every radio program. That's the problem I'm having with the whole situation. It seems to me that the story that they're trying to propagate is still being told.
And we never saw a body either.
And we never saw a body, never saw anything.
Oh, no.
So.
Yeah, no, we never saw a body. Well, how could you see a body when they dump his ass in the Mariana
Why
Trench?
the fuck would you dump the body in the ocean if you want to prove the fact? If you want to prove to the fact that you actually killed this
Well, you know
motherfucker?
why? You know why? Because
That's the thing. People will buy a story if you fabricate it right.
Because
There's no
apparently
need for
Bin Laden
proof.
is just as bad as Megatron, so we have to dump his ass in the Mariana Trench. So just in case he comes back, he's not going to take out another tower.
When you're told,
God, I hate this
when the
motherfucker
news
so
media
much.
in this country has been telling everybody for 20 some years how Bin Laden's the bad guy, Bin Laden's the bad guy, Bin Laden's the bad guy. And then all of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky,
Bin Laden is dead, and everybody's like,
well, when Obama needed some ratings, or Obama needed to be pushed over the cliff a little bit, and I don't mean pushed over, I mean they needed to up his approval rating.
Yes, approval rating.
All of a sudden, now we just killed the most. Look what he did on 9/11. The government, the country believes that 9/11 was done the way it was done. And what better way of taking out the most evil, heinous man? But if you look into it and you realize, no,
there's
not so
a lot
not
of
so
pieces
fast.
that don't add up, man.
Not
There's
so
a lot
fast.
of pieces.
And just like Joshua just said, I don't think on every podcast we've done a better line of anything. If you craft a story well, everybody will believe it.
Yeah.
And that's the God's honest
Dad,
truth.
you've said it before too. You said it's on the podcast. You said it to each and every one of us personally. The bigger the lie, the more people will believe.
They will. I mean, it goes right back to the Reichstag that in Germany. When they got a Polish guy to burn down the Reichstag because they wanted to invade Poland. And it really wasn't a Polish guy. So basically, the people in Germany goes, oh, we got to go after the Polish people now. So what do? First country to do, they went and took out Poland. So again, create the problem. Okay, here we go.
No.
And it technically is under what we're talking about. It's a black eye.
No, we'll talk about this after, because that what we're gonna have to talk about that after. That's crazy.
Well,
You're gonna have to get him on an episode of The High Point only on the Patreon. Please subscribe. So
anyway,
Nice plug.
thank you.
Was
So we're gonna take another short little break. I know, Josh, you've been looking at a whole website and probably been trying to say something about this website for a hot minute.
The problem is I don't know what to say. I'll give you a little
It's
quick,
a timeline, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll give you a little quick insight. That looks like there's something related to Black Ops every single year since 1942.
Okay, so we'll go down that timeline when we get back, and I do want to talk about Jade Helm, and we'll talk about that, and then we'll take another break and whatever. So we'll be right back. All right. Are you looking for a vinyl LP or cassette tape, 45 RPM? If so, you've come to the right place. Golden Spins. We have thousands of titles in stock and ready to ship. Call us at 862-336-2275 or go to our store at discogs.com/seller/goldenspins/profile. We can find whatever you may need. We proudly accept PayPal and every major credit card. And welcome back. So Joshua, my roadblock. You've been looking at this website for the last maybe half an hour, and just scrolling up and down, up and down, up and down. What is on this website, Joshua?
Black Ops.
What is this website though? What is
hey,
this
that's
website
good because that's what we're talking about.
Yo, that's mighty convenient, bro.
Yeah,
I don't even know what to say with this because it's insane that all this is documented. Okay, so for the people at home, I'm on a website called deephistory.us, and apparently there is a area specifically designed for Black Ops. And it's starting in 1942, and it doesn't go into much details. It gives like little details per, I guess, incident. And the first one starts off with the Office of Strategic Services, forerunner to the Central Intelligence Agency, is formed, and that began in 1942.
And that was never mind. Go ahead. I was going to say that's a whole other ball game, but we'll get into that in the Kennedy assassination.
Okay, all right.
Oh shit!
So that was the first thing that's documented, or at least that's listed on here. And then the next one is another 1942. It says the Institute for the Works of Religion, the Vatican Church, is founded. Over the next several decades, it will be implicated in numerous clandestine operations supporting the far right in both the U.S. and Europe. And then you can skip through because it's almost every single year. You can go all the way down to...
Wait, hold on.
I'm just going to randomly pick one. 1953. The U.S. and British governments carry out Operation Ajax to overthrow the democratically elected leader of Iran, Mohammad Mossadegh, if I said that right, after he nationalizes their oil industry. An absolute monarchy is placed in power. And you skip down.
Okay, hold on a second.
Up to date.
So, something with the Vatican Church has to deal with Black Ops operations?
Was it a surprise to you?
Okay,
a little bit.
Here's a little thing that I've heard on several different occasions from different medias that may or may not be true. But your so-called Vatican Church, Catholic Church, Romans, all of them,
Romans.
They are the Romans. I'll break that down to you later.
Okay. There's an actual conspiracy theory, and I'm going to leave it at that because I can't say there's actual proof because I have not seen it myself. They helped Nazis flee.
Oh no! There's a whole story. There's a whole movie made about that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I know
why. That's why one of those things. That's why they're listed. That's one of the first ones.
Yeah, the Vatican was giving money to the Nazis.
No, I know about all that.
The Vatican was actually holding back stolen loot from
the
from
paintings
Germany,
and stuff like that from Paris.
They were keeping him in their archive. Yeah. Now again, we're gonna.
That's a whole other.
It's not only that. It's again, it's the Vatican, it's the Pope, but you got to look at who the Pope was at the time.
Who the Pope?
I don't know offhand, but you can't blame that on the entire church because the Pope was running it at that point.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, it's just that's one of the things. That's why. That
you really are a person that blames the sins of the father on the kid, aren't you?
Oh my God. Anyway, you can skip ahead all the way up to this. Just caught my eye. 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. is assassinated, allegedly by James Earl Ray. At his trial, Ray pleads guilty to avoid the death penalty, but later recants his confession. A civil jury trial in 1999 finds that government agencies are party to the assassination.
Yeah,
Skip over 1960, actually same year, 1968, Robert F. Kennedy. Skip over ahead, you got 1970, FBI agent.
Black Panther there.
Yeah, 1970, FBI agent, CIA advisor Dan Mitrone is killed by the left-wing guerrilla organization Tupamaros. I believe I said that right. Probably wrong. In Uruguay, Mitrone had been teaching local police torture techniques in the soundproofed basement of his house, where a number of homeless men were shocked to death for practice.
Yep.
And it just keeps going. There's literally, like I said, there's at least
one.
one.
Hey, do you want a place to live?
Every year And there's some that's like 2 or 3 in a year, 4 or 5. Look, 1975 alone has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
All right,
incidents
because
that are listed.
we'll ask the only person who was alive in 1975, what major happened in 1975, off the top of your head, as far as things that could be...
You're, to put me on a spot here, I mean, I'd have to really get into the time machine and think about it. I was 15 years old. I wasn't worried about Black Ops at that point.
Well, I'll give you one...
I was worried about Pink Ops, if you know what I mean.
Pussy!
Let's...
Before this will be a podcast, so it'll be before the Great Pussy Drought of '82. Is it real?
Can we not? 1975, Union leader Jimmy Hoffa goes missing. Although his disappearance is never solved, it is widely believed to be related to his involvement with organized crime. Mm-hmm. That's one of the major
How the fuck
ones.
but I have a question.
I've heard of Jimmy Hoffa.
Yes. Okay, thank you. How... How is Jimmy... okay, organized crime, how does that fit under Black Ops, though?
Doesn't really, because basically...
So why would that
who
even
took
be
him
put
out
out there? That's
was
what
the
I'm
guy.
saying.
Well, you don't know. You don't
never know. That's the problem.
So,
Right.
but you could sit there and put on that list anything then that has a question mark in it that could be a Black Ops
Are
thing.
you going to question the website now?
Well, yeah, because that doesn't make any sense.
Can't we just go with it and go with something else now?
Well, no, I mean, because he's
you asked
literally
me-
having...
Come on, Big Joe.
asked me-
Then we would be just like the masses out here, bro. Come on.
Again, what do I end almost every... Well, 40% of my episodes with?
Okay.
Question
Okay.
everything.
All right. I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. Okay. When you're involved with the mafia, okay, the mafia does.
You guys are Italian.
Again, black ops are given to the mafia when the government needs their help. It's been done all the time. Just look at your President Kennedy. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So who knows if if this guy's trying to link the government with taking out Jimmy Hoffa, who basically had made a lot of enemies with union leaders, and made a lot of enemies with the mafia, because the mafia put him in business.
Well, I mean, if you watch the movie The Irishman...
The Irishman is a bullshit story done by bullshit people. Okay, that's my opinion on that.
There
all
could
right,
be any type of Black Ops. Like I said, this thing lists at least one major event every year that could have some tie.
But that's what...
a lot of them.
though.
A lot of them do say CIA is involved because it starts off with that. I mean, you could jump all the way to the 1980s. Let's see.
Crack. The 80s. They started crack war. That's what it is.
Yeah,
they
you
pump
can say
crack.
that. You can it's
Crack,
crazy.
pump it up.
1982, Reagan signs the top secret national security decision, Directive 17, authorizing the CIA to begin secretly supporting the right-wing Contras militias in Nicaragua.
right.
So-
That's where all the gun running came from. That's when they put him on trial, or
That's where all the cocaine came
he
from,
couldn't
too.
remember anything or whatever. And I'm a Reagan fan, but you know what? The truth is the truth. You know that was a little crazy. Again, plausible deniability. He got on the stand. I don't know anything. So there you go.
My
Wasn't he
my
like
whole
an actor or
problem...
something?
Yeah, Reagan was. My whole problem with the whole thing is, though, you could literally sit there, because, again, you don't know with Black Ops. You could sit there and say anything that happens anywhere, that could be a Black Ops operation. That could be this. That could be that.
There are Black Ops.
Well, that's
going
the
on
whole
right
point.
now.
There's no actual trace to be
But
found.
but that
you
that
can say it's a Black Op operation because of the fact that there may be information surrounding that event that can lead to it. If you do the homework on any one of these,
To me,
I'm
it
pretty sure
dilutes
you
it,
can.
though.
Well, no, because if you do the research on any one of these topics that are listed here, you can look for things that don't make sense. But then, if you actually look into it, you'll be like, okay, well, that does make sense because this led to that event.
And they're
This led to
counting on you
this.
not to look into it. They're counting on you to say, do you know what? Here's the thing: if Americans have to think about what is out there, they truly wouldn't sleep at night. But Americans don't want to think. They want to have other people thinking for them. They want to turn on the news and get an instant Reader's Digest. Well, this is happening. This is happening. That's their opinion. This is their opinion. They don't want to think. And if they were to think about things, they would never be able to get away with half the shit they get away
You know
with.
what the crazy thing is? I actually just saw today. I was scrolling on Facebook because I was bored as hell this morning, right? And one of the things that popped up was a George Carlin special where he went off on that type of a topic, saying that America, at least at that point, even when he did the special, he was saying that they don't want smart, educated Americans to do their homework. They don't want smart, educated people to turn around and be like, okay, well, government, stop fucking us over. They don't want that. They want mindless drones, people to work the regular 9-to-5s with the very little benefits, the shrinking 401ks, the retirement plans that are like next to nothing. And he even said it, you know, there's older people that go to collect their retirement plans or whatever and such, and it's almost non-existent. They get very little money for it because that's what they go after. That's what corporate and even the government, or even people higher up than that. Don't forget, we did a special on the damn Rothschilds. I mean, like,
which is our trending topic. If you have not listened to that yet, please go back and listen to it.
Exactly. It can lead all the way to that, but no one's going to know because no one does the homework, which leads to my next point. I saw a meme on Facebook, and it's really funny that I was on Facebook and I see all this shit today, and it's coming back to me, that most people do their homework, and this is completely true, even for me, because there have been times where you could look something up. Say you go on Google. The first page, that's the tip of the iceberg. Second page, that's where maybe 50% of people that are looking something up would go to. And then it kept going lower and lower, and it shows what an iceberg looks like. And under the water, it says this is the dark web that no one ever touches. And that's like the fourth or fifth page of Google or whatever the case is. You know, not to promote them, but that's something I saw, and that hit home for me, at least for our podcast, because half of the things I've learned from hearing from just you alone, let alone doing the actual research to be able to do this podcast and talk about those events. And then seeing a website like this, literally listing things year by year that could possibly be connected to Black Ops, and all you would have to do is research around, and it may seem like things that are not even connected could be connected. It could be one person that gets assassinated from another government. You can sit there and be like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense. What about the bills that were passed that prior year, or bills that were passed secretly during the night? Because that can happen. There's tons of those types of things. Even our government in here. Oh my God, I read it earlier today too, and I can't remember it now. They what was it? Someone got assassinated or something like that, and then I think it was like the Privacy Act or something like that, or I'm trying to remember what the hell it was.
Are you talking about the Patriot Act?
I think so. I think that was the one
that was held. Basically, the Patriot Act came out of 9/11, and
yes,
it happened.
Yeah, I think so.
That was, I don't know how big that the actual viewer, like, it's huge, but they're trying to tell you that this thing was passed in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
when half of Congress was actually in session, and nobody got a chance to read it, but they had to pass it. And in that act, basically, your freedoms have started to be deteriorated.
Yeah, taken from us.
Right, and you got to ask yourself now, was 9/11 the reason for that Patriot Act? Did we, instead of them just coming out saying, well, we're going to do this, well, now, here's that problem. Here's the reaction guys got.
They need something to distract you so they can do what they want.
The problem that the problem that you see whenever anyone in government says we are doing this for quote unquote national security reasons, there's a problem there.
Well, that's the blanket coverage that everybody's going to say, if they're even going to tell you. But again, with the issue of Black Ops, they're not going to say a word to you.
Like the
you're
shit
going
that
to figure
happens.
it out on your own if you can.
It's all shrouded in mystery, and you're never going to know the actual legitimate facts.
And then if you do figure it out, then you're going to just be deemed as a crazy person, and they're just going to try to
well, no, they're going to put you as a conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
Put you as a crazy person, or if you're just speaking to a lot of people, and a lot of people are listening, you will get probably,
You will be demonized.
We really have to watch ourselves because if more people listen, the more we will get demonized.
Okay, here's one. Eric, the subject you want to talk about that's coming up soon. 1996 MK Ultra subject Ted Kaczynski, a.k.a. the Unabomber, is arrested following a bombing campaign which had killed 3 and injured 23 Ultras.
Was that the one?
23 elders.
Was that the one in Oklahoma?
I don't know. It didn't give specifics. It just says specifically 1996 MK Ultra subject.
No. I don't think the Unabomber was the Oklahoma bombing. Was it?
No, Oklahoma bombing was Timothy
McVeigh.
But But there's also that's another true part of true crime that I want to get into, but not tonight. I don't. That's
but that goes to the Black Ops things.
Oh, absolutely.
MK Ultra, Black Ops, and the subject.
Yeah, it's CIA operating on what was it?
Yeah, but they picked one person specifically, which was the Unabomber, and that was the incident that was led to it. They're saying that MK Ultra was involved with that.
The funny part is
because MK Ultra was pretty much brainwashing people.
Exactly.
That's
another incident.
They were dosing up people with LSD and
go back to 96
and mushrooms and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's why some people think that the Mothman was tied to well, at least not some people. I made this fucking tie. I made this up, and I'm just running with it because it does sound true. When the Mothman around in that area was starting to pop up, that was around the same year that people were still getting experimented on with MK Ultra. So you can't say that you didn't have CIA operatives that were in that one town, but they just didn't report it or whatever the fuck was going on.
Yeah, that's the point. There's no traces. That's what I'm saying.
Right. And that's a problem because, my money that comes out of our fucking paychecks, even if we are those regular 9-to-5s people, money that's coming out of our paychecks is going to these fucking programs that we have nothing or no idea what's going on.
Right. Okay.
So why the fuck can't I be known about it?
So 2 things I want to point out for on this website that I just read briefly, and it really puts into all the Black Ops shit. Right. So in 96, apparently the former CIA director, William
Colby
dies in a apparent boating accident.
Uh-huh.
And it's apparent that most former CIA directors who are not really high level have apparently died in some type of accident.
Really? I never looked at that.
And then
I honestly wouldn't put it past you.
And then the former president of Afghanistan, remember, this is 96 now. 96. So put it into, timeline
perspective.
form.
Yeah, there's no
former
internet,
president of Afghanistan, Mohammed
Najibullah,
is executed by the Taliban. Mm-hmm. So that's 96, and then 5 years later we have 9/11. Again, these are all things that.
But these are all things that can be proven, bro. Yo, Bin Laden was a fucking CIA agent. This motherfucker's name, what was it? We saw it.
Tim Osman.
Tim
OSS.
Osman.
Office of Strategic Services, man.
He was a fucking operative for them. So obviously, in those years prior to that, you don't even have to look into deep info. You can just already know that they were training him for him to create that fucking group to have a problem. You create the reaction, and then you have your solution.
Well, you're right. But the thing, also, you got to understand with a guy like Bin Laden, what we did with him is we recruited him to fight against the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. Because if you recall your history correctly, Russia was fighting the Mujahideen, and Russia was losing that war. And
this was all Cold War era stuff.
No, this is real. Well, for us, it was a Cold War. But
Cold War, was it Desert Storm?
No, Desert Storm is different. Yeah. Now, that basically what they were, when Russia was fighting Mujahideen, they gave up. They just couldn't do it. So we went in there and we decided we were going to fight them because, again, Afghanistan's loaded with oil and minerals and diamonds and gold and everything else.
We could do anything we want.
So we basically recruited, again, we didn't want to bring our own troops in, so we recruited Bin Laden to create
mercenary group.
The Taliban.
Yeah.
The Taliban then went to fight the Mujahideen. And who's in charge of Afghanistan today?
The Taliban.
Who was the one that we blamed for 9/11?
The Taliban.
And then we went in there and we said that we were going to stop the terrorism. We took it over for 20 years, set our bases up over there, took whatever resources they had, and now all of a sudden...
Now that we pulled out there and they're in charge.
This fucking idiot decides to pull out like he did. Look, I'm all for getting out of Afghanistan, but not the way he did it, because it created a vacuum, and that vacuum hurt a lot of people. We got 11 servicemen killed, and how many kids were killed that didn't have to die because of this fucking idiot's reaction. And what pisses me off, this is where I'm going to lose it, because you know, he goes in and he tells you, well, President Trump, I'm only following what he was going to do. It wasn't even close what Trump was going to do. If you're so interested and worried about what Trump was going to do in Afghanistan, but yet with the same fucking mouth that you fucking kiss your ugly-ass wife with, you sit there and you turn around and you say, well, you know what, his policies at the border were ridiculous. Really? How many people are being let into this country every day that could be terrorists? Or how many that are coming, lives of these human beings are being ruined because they're coming to this country seeking asylum when they could have stayed on the other side of the border and sought out the asylum that they wanted. But no, this asshole is going to pick at you. Will stop building the wall because it's racist. Everything with these motherfuckers is racist until it benefits them or they have to get out of a lie. I'm sorry I had to go off on that. This motherfucker.
Okay.
You can't even impeach him because you got that fucking whoremonger as his fucking vice president.
Buddy. Okay. Whoa, buddy.
Okay.
I'm taking a breath.
Whoa.
Kill my mic. I'm taking a breath.
Josh, did the computer go down? What the fuck? Are they on to us? No!
Woosah. Okay, first of all,
buddy.
Everyone, woosah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get going here.
We're going to take another short little break, and then we're going to
chill.
We're going to end this episode, right?
No, we're going to go into Jade Helm.
And that'll be the last segment.
And that will be the last segment.
I'm hungry.
And then we'll go into our whether we believe these things are real or not. We will be right back, guys.
Hi, this is Anthony from Multimedia Mafia. If you love what we do and you want to know more about us, head on over to greenarrowmedia.org. On there, you're going to find links to both Multimedia Mafia show and our sister show, Is This Real?, which is all about conspiracies and aliens and all sorts of wonderful stuff like that. If you want to support us, head on over to our merch page where you can buy a hat or a mug. We have lots of different designs and cool colors. If you want to meet us, we got pictures up there. We have a little biography, and you can even stream the show right through the website. And hey, don't forget to check out our YouTube link where you can check out all the filming that we do right on our YouTube page. Check us out. greenarrowmedia.org.
And welcome back. Dad, are you okay?
I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
I think I'll be fine.
All right.
Just don't mention Biden.
Okay.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Go in the corner. Go in the corner.
I'm sorry, folks. I won't be with you the rest of the thing. I'm sitting in a fetal position in the corner now with a headache.
We put baby in the corner because holy shit.
All right. I've been saying this entire goddamn episode. I want to get this Jade Helm thing because I think.
What the hell is that?
I think it's very.
Yes, please explain because even I don't know.
It's very interesting. So I'm on this. I'll just go. It's ABC News, so you know it's probably fake. But it's what exactly is Jade Helm 15? So according to the United States Army website, Jade Helm is a multi-state training exercise taking place July 15th through September 15th of 2015. With members of the U.S. Army Special Operations Command and service members from the military's 4 branches. While the exercise is taking place across 7 states, the Special Operations Forces are only training in 5 states: Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado. It's that little South Belt that we keep talking about that, of course, somehow...
It's the desert, bro.
It's those desert areas are... there's something up with those desert areas.
Maybe.
But lack of surveillance.
True.
And heat and sand.
And then it says, but the exercises will take place primarily in Texas, according to the unclassified request for training from Special Operations Command, because it requires large areas of undeveloped land as well as access to towns. The U.S. military is consistently conducting training exercises inside the U.S., both in remote areas and sometimes populated cities, and it's certainly not the first military exercise to occur inside the state of Texas. So, basically, it was routine training exercises to maintain a high level of readiness. But what
telling you, bro, they always on go time.
The problem with that is the conspiracy theories around it seem to emanate from the map shown here, and the map is basically California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Arizona,
the entire Southwest.
Yeah, basically the entire Southwest, and
from Texas all the way left.
Basically, it says Shown here from that, U.S. Army Special Operations Command, which divides the region into 4 colors, with 2 hostile states, which in this case were Texas and Utah, with 2 permissive states and 2 states leaning one way or another, and California divided. Jim Shea of the Hartford Coronets wrote, the conspiracy theories included a psychological operations aimed at getting people used to seeing military forces on the streets so that they do not realize when an invasion actually takes place. An international operation aimed to seize people's guns, recently closed Walmarts used by the military to stockpile supplies for Chinese troops who will be arriving to disarm Americans, and a military plan to round up political descendants, and remove key political figures who may be against the imposition of martial law. Other theories have described James Helm 15 as a secret plot to impose martial law, confiscate firearms, invade Texas, and institute total population control.
And that's just a theory.
Those are just theories.
Right.
It's not proven or anything like that.
Right.
But these are just theories that it goes under.
But the exercise did go on.
The exercises did go on, yes. And they were shutting down Walmarts at one point. Like, they were legit shutting down Walmarts.
Yeah, that's going to be another show we're going to do just on that.
But I think it falls under this special operations, because it's basically dealing with the special operations, and it's dealing with secret areas in these government branches that, I mean, I could see. We've been talking about martial law and getting people, citizens used to seeing militarized police for the last decade. I've been hearing you say it since fucking early 2000s.
My cousin's husband is a cop. I mean, my cousin. I'm going to just say that. Cousin David, and he was a cop in a town in New Jersey. And I once asked him that question: why are all the police dressing like paratroopers with the military pants and the military boots, the boots and everything else? And he's like, you know what? As a cop myself, I don't understand. Cops should dress a certain way. But he goes, maybe they're trying to make everybody used to seeing paramilitary on the on the streets, and to me, this screams of, we're doing this and we're going to show you what we're doing, and you can run with it and think what you want to think, because basically there is no answer. Not going to. If this was just an exercise, they should say, you know what, people, this is what we're doing. We're going to do it this way. Everybody now has, you all have knowledge of what's going on. All right, but they didn't. They just decided to have these military operations and have everybody guess at what's going on. I mean, you got the theories range crazy of when Jade Helm is like, they call it Jade Helm because Jade has a reference to China, and is this some kind of Chinese? We're getting ready for China to come in and take things over. Why are the Walmarts closing in these areas? If you look at where the Walmarts were closing, it's basically along the corridor where from California to Texas. So all of this, it actually all coincided, but they never actually came out and they never said anything to where no, this is what we're doing, follow along, play the home game, whatever. But they never did that, so they scared people.
I think the biggest fear for any of these Jade Helm areas was the threat of martial law. And for anyone playing the home game, martial law is a temporary imposition of direct military control of normal civil functions or suspension of civil law by a government.
Time out.
Isn't that like when the military takes over?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example of martial law, and it happened right in your face, and we got fucked because of it. We weren't allowed to cover it when the computer blew up. We were doing a Boston bombing thing. Mm-hmm. That night, Boston was closed.
Yeah, that was a.
They told you don't come out on the streets. We're closing down the neighborhoods. Okay, that to me that night, I thought that was an exercise in getting people used to martial law, or to see if they can use martial law anytime they wanted, and they did. So you don't have to look far to see examples of where martial law has been used.
Well, yeah, so It has by country and region. So there's about 16 or 17 different countries that it's been used in. Armenia, Australia, Brunei, Canada, China, Egypt, Iceland, Indonesia, Iran, Ireland, Israel, Mauritius, I believe that's pronounced, Pakistan, Philippines, Poland, South Korea, Switzerland, Syria, Taiwan, Thailand, Turkey, Ukraine, United States, and Yugoslavia. Let's go to the United States area. Ooh. Japanese attack of Pearl Harbor, the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, San Francisco earthquake of 1909. Freedom Riders. Wow, okay. So there's a lot of where apparently these martial laws have been incurred in the United States. Boston was not on there, though. Because I guess it's not really classified martial law.
It is, but all you got to do is you got to realize when somebody tells you to stay off the streets, we're closing down the neighborhoods. It's martial law by definition.
See, the funny part is because I remember when all this was going on and Jade Helm was a big thing, but nothing really came out of it. Like there was no.
Yeah, it was just literally like just an exercise.
And then it just went away.
People got used to it.
But it's not even people got used to it, though.
No, people got used to it. And even till this day, stuff like that is still happening. It's basically militarizing the police.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been seeing militarizing police since 2001.
Exactly.
I think
you get used to it, you won't care.
It's funny because, like, you really think of how, and we'll take a short break in a little bit and then go right into the end, but I just want to get this out. If you look at the timeline of how shit was happening, like, of course, the biggest thing that's got to pop out there in this country's recent history is 9/11, and how things from 2001 till now, so you're talking about 20 years, how technology and social media has changed in the last 20 years drastically, and 90% of the time when it has changed for you think the better, it's taking more freedoms away.
Your freedoms are, again, I know I'm loaded with analogies, but if you put if you take a pot of water and you put that frog in a cold pot of water and you turn up the heat slowly, the frog is going to boil without him knowing he's being boiled. Mm-hmm. But if you take a hot pot of water and you throw that frog in there, he's going to jump out because he's like, wait a minute.
It's hot.
That's exactly what happens when they erode your freedoms. They slowly turn up the heat until you've already given up your freedoms for the illusion of security, which you don't have either. You don't have security because anybody can get you anytime they want. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know what's a really scary thing? Someone made a comparison the other day, and I actually did read it, and it actually kind of scared the living fuck out of me because the way they did the comparison actually freaked you out. And I'm going to say one line, and probably two of you might understand what I'm saying. It's from a movie, and I'm just going to ramble off really fast. What is it? Remember the 5th of November. Does that ring a bell with anyone in this room?
Yeah, Beef and Vendetta.
If you take the synopsis of that movie and compare it to what's happening right now,
it aligns
fucking perfectly, and it's terrifying. And
okay, maybe I'm a little out of the loop here. What are we talking about?
Viva for Vendetta is a movie that came out a little while ago.
I think it was like 06 or something like that.
It is a while back. But if you look at the movie, it was designed in a way, and it originally actually was a comic, if I'm correct. But the movie, the way it came out, the way they designed it, it was aligned with the way Nazi Germany happened.
Okay.
Where a guy rose to power and said, I'll offer you security at the expense of your freedom.
Right.
So in the movie, it was a lot of, like, you can see it. It's like, symbolism right there. It was basically screaming what that is. But with the way someone broke it down, the way I read it, they were stating all the facts of what happened in that movie with the way I just said it compared to what's happening today. And they were like, go ahead, tell me the difference.
Oh, yeah. So the first
one act is probably all the difference of what could happen to us today from what happened in the movie.
I gotta check the movie out.
It's a good movie.
The movie actually.
I'm surprised you haven't watched it.
You ever saw the Guy Fawkes mask?
No. It's that white mask with a little bit of a mustache here, but then a long beard, like triangle.
Isn't that the thing for Anonymous?
Yes, exactly.
Them too. They use that same mask. So the basic synopsis of the movie is that the way I just said it, the guy was offering security at the expense of your freedom because there was a plague happening.
Okay.
All right. So
keep feeding that. What's happening today?
Dad, listen, this is just the first line of the plot summary. Following global war on terrorism, the world is in turmoil. The United States is fractured as a result of a second civil war, and a pandemic of the St. Mary's virus is ravaging continental Europe. The United Kingdom is ruled as a Nordic supremacist and neo-fascist police state by the North Fire Party, helmed by an all-powerful High Chancellor Adam Sutler. Political opponents, immigrants, Jews, Muslims, atheists, homosexuals, and other undesirables are imprisoned and executed.
And they went even further, and it actually does tie into our topic of Black Ops, because in the movie, they do reference a program that was going on of creating soldiers, and one of them survived. But they were also using, I believe in the movie, they were using the virus that was, ravaging the country and stuff like that to alter the people. And one of the people survived. And he's the one that wears the Guy Fawkes mask. And,
played by Hugo Weaving.
Yes. The guy who did the voice for Megatron in the live action movie. Thank you very much. That was my favorite. Anyway, he plays in that. He becomes the person that was a comparison to Guy Fawkes, but he was successful. Okay. In the movie, he dies. But in the movie...
Spoiler alert.
It's been out for God knows how long. Shut up.
Some people haven't watched it.
Anyway, he dies, and the girl that he
Natalie Portman
took under his wing to help him actually continues with his plan.
Okay.
She sends the train full of dynamite to Parliament, and it blows up. And there's thousands of people in Europe sitting there watching it happen because half of them are wearing Guy Fawkes masks. Well, not even. All of them wearing Guy Fawkes masks. Wow. And they're actually watching this happen. And even the government was this close. And if it wasn't for the fact that
if it wasn't for these
High Chancellor died, there probably would have been a massacre on top of that Parliament blowing up. So that's what I'm saying. The way the person wrote the story and did everything is a perfect comparison of what's happening now, and we are one major tragedy away from it being the same exact way the movie that
I agree with
happened.
you. I you know what, in my I know this is not what we're talking about, but I do believe that the government, our government, select people around the world are aware of something that's going to happen soon. Mm-hmm. Whether it's an asteroid and I don't want to scare anybody, but this is purely my theory or my thoughts, and that's why you're seeing the moves being sped up at such a rapid pace now, with the underground bunkers, which we'll talk about in a couple of weeks from now. And different stuff like that, and stuff being more secretive, and freedoms being eroded, and they're never going to tell you. And I just have this gut feeling, and I want to be wrong, and God, I hope I am, that somewhere along the lines there's going to be a major tragedy that it's going to impact. Not only it's going to make the coronavirus look like a cold, and I'm not talking about this will be a virus. I'm talking about the impact of 7 million people being killed worldwide to maybe 100 million people, and only select few are going to survive it.
Yeah.
It's been my thought now for a long time.
But you're talking about like a rapture and shit.
I'm talking about something ending the world. Yeah, I am. And I don't want to come across as a religious nut, because believe me, it has nothing to do with religion.
No, but that ties into it. There's Black Ops operations that could be funding this.
I would just say end of days is coming.
Yeah, exactly. There's funding that could be coming from Black Ops or
I just hope I hit 5,000 downloads before that. Because anyway.
We're about to hit 3,500.
I know, it's random. It's late. It's not. I'm not going to tell you the
time.
I'm fucking hungry. I want to eat.
All right, so we'll just.
Hungry. It's dark.
We're not even going to take a break then. We'll just go right into it. Dad, we'll start with you. Do you believe in any conspiracy theories leading to what is happening with Black Ops operations or anything that could...
Okay, I'll give you my take on the Black operations.
Black Ops operations,
Black
please.
Ops. You got to say that really slow. If you don't, you know.
Please, not on air.
Right. Yes. I do believe, and it's not a case of believing the Black Ops are there. You know, there's a military budget that it can't be accounted for.
Dumbest shit in the world.
Their actions are, speak volumes. So yes, I do believe that the Black Ops are existing. However, I do also think that the Black operations it comes with a cost, and I believe that it creates unnecessary theories, it creates unnecessary paranoia, and it questions why should I keep paying the government to to spend money in other countries to do black operations. And I'm talking purely assassinations, government regimes, changing stuff like that. As far as the black operations for our own military, which it does come out of the military budget, I do believe that you do have to have a certain amount of secrecy, but they also can say, look, we're taking this $500 billion and we're doing research. We're doing military research. And that's all you need to know as a citizen. You don't need to know what they're doing, because if we know, then our enemies are going to know. And I sleep better at night knowing that they got stuff up their sleeve that's going to protect me. So that's my take on it, good, bad, or indifferent.
Mr. West?
Yes.
Roadblock?
Sorry, that completely caught me off guard. I thought he was saying yes to you as in, like, yes, like he's acknowledging that you just called him.
No, that's
legit your answer. Just yes. Yep. Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I decided to try and answer. You caught me completely off guard with that. I'm sorry.
See how I just knew that, though?
The sad part is that he knew that so fucking well, he just immediately went to me.
10 years of friendship, you get to know somebody.
Didn't even question.
On a side note, before you give your answer, Josh, I just want to say,
yes,
you have been on fire tonight. You were just.
That's why I spit the water at him to cool him down.
You really were. You were on fire. You were the most in your face about this, engaged. It was really, really a pleasure working with you tonight. More so than we normally do.
Damn.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, you know what?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure more so this week than ever.
No, it's not. That's not what I mean. I came around that way. It was a lot. Fuck you all. It was a lot of fun, and to watch you take it to another level was really, really.
You got red, bro, at one point.
Cool. It really was. I enjoyed it.
First of all, I will say thank you, Dad. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Secondly, this is one of those random. Why the fuck did anyway? This is one of those topics where I do know about, but I don't talk about.
Okay.
Because other than the four of us in this booth right now, there's not really that many like-minded individuals
you don't have no friends. You could just
that we
say
can.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
That bottle of Jets wine is about to get used, and not in a good way.
Okay, just continue.
There's not many like-minded individuals that you can engage in a conversation with,
right?
That can lead to feedback, going back and forth, and testing your knowledge or testing your belief or whatever in any type of case. And this is one of those, because some of this is blatant right in your face, as you said before, Dad. And others are so secretive that people will never know. But as we've talked about tonight, that some of this you can literally look up on the internet. Mm-hmm. One of the ones you mentioned earlier, Googled it. It's right at the top, and it tells you exactly what it is. Okay. A way for them to infiltrate into another country in order to get whatever it is they need to. So for me, I do believe in all of this Black Ops stuff. One thing we didn't mention, or we didn't go into detail on, I really won't try to, but the Blackwater we briefly mentioned at the beginning, like I had mentioned off air, is that some of their jobs are literally listed on the side of the fucking website.
Yeah.
They tell you security detail, executive production.
I saw mercenary jobs.
Yo, we could sit there.
Exactly.
We could sit there, and Eric, if you approve, we could go into this on the high point.
Yes, I approve.
Yeah, definitely take away with it. You can go on them alone.
Well, Josh, you could be here and talk.
I'll apply.
I don't know. I'm just saying. And then there's tons of different years.
Hold on. Wait. What? Did you just say you'll apply?
Yeah, why not? You never know if I get a call.
Hey, look, it's Black Ops and it's on the website.
I don't think the private military companies need someone to change their heater. All right, so please,
fuck off.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eric hit him. Anyway, it's all there.
Well, just like they don't need someone to send them hats.
You don't know that, my nigga? Yo, they doing some secret shit. It's government money, bro. You getting money for
That's right. You know
hats.
what, Eric? That's right, Eric. You know what? It's going to be very secretive. You're going to go into Kazakhstan and you're going to destroy his heating system. That's what you're going to do.
Okay.
First
anyway,
of all, somebody hot out there.
Josh.
Shut up, would you guys please?
Oh dear God! All I want is a bowl of fucking chili.
Oh. Anyway, yes, I believe, yes, there is so much there that if you did your homework, you would find out. It's one of those topics that can be really engaging. I love it, which is why I've been so fucking heated all night.
Yeah, it showed tonight, boy.
I mean, other than Dad going off a rant on something else that I will not bring back up.
I can't wait for tomorrow night just to hear this. I really can't. I want to know if it was as bad as it sounded.
Trust me, I'm going to edit this almost no sooner I get home, so that way it can be ready. I do. It's all there. The only unfortunate part is some of the stuff that there's no actual trace evidence. It's unfortunate, and it can happen. People just look, people. That's it. Just open your eyes. Do more than page 2 on Google. All right, as I said before, please.
Damn it, you're just calling me out right now.
All right. So, I do believe, but I believe at a point. Because I think there's too many things to sit there and then you can throw up with a shed of a doubt that sit there and go, oh, that could be Black Ops, that could be this. Look, I do believe that there are some sketchy shit that we should know about that our taxes are going to. But at the same time, like I said before, you could throw any major event in history and be like, someone could have been involved. You know what I mean?
John Wilkes Booth.
So it's very hard to sit there and
you're right, but that's where you got to separate the bullshit that they're going to give you, separate it from the reality. Because if they're going to give you a synopsis of, well, you were taking $500 billion or whatever it is, $50 billion for the government money.
And you're not knowing where it goes.
And you're not going to know where it's going. Right then and there, theories are going to be made. Yeah. And none of them could be true. Or they could all be true.
Or they spend all the money on a toilet.
But the problem with that is...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
American
matter.
people should be pissed off at the fact that our money can literally go to killing one person on a fucking island somewhere just so they can get more materials, let's say, more minerals, whatever the fuck the case is.
And not using helping people that need it. You know, I'm all for social services. Like, again, I'm a Republican, but I do believe that there has to be welfare. People need help. I do believe there has to be child care. Children need help. I do believe in that stuff. And for every dollar that we're given to take out another country, or like Joshua says, to go out and spend money blowing up mines somewhere or taking over a country, that's money that we should be giving to our people. That's money that can help our own people build our roads,
well, I mean,
better schools.
They say a statistic is that like almost all the money that goes into like war and shit like that can literally feed almost every single person in this country.
Yeah, they say that about everything, though. They could turn around and say that Jeff Bezos, if he would have just spent $20 million...
It's private industry. It's a different story.
If he gives $1 million to every citizen on Earth, he still has $150 billion more. Like, that's...
Wow, damn. Is that nigga that rich?
Some shit like that. But yes, he is that rich.
He is that rich. His company's on track to being one of the first companies that are, like, worth $1 trillion.
I thought Apple already did that.
No.
But anyway,
Apple's a lot, but
it's a thing. Like,
let's put it this way: more people use Amazon before using iPhones.
I said it tonight. Use Amazon 3 times.
Exactly.
No promotion, by the way.
No promotion whatsoever.
But that's the way our country is now. That's the way it is. It's easier for me to sit back and have it delivered to me than to go ape shit.
So we're gonna end this episode. And we're finally going to get ready. And I just want to tell everybody that...
Yes, sorry, I have to correct you. Yes, Apple did break the record. It was the first company.
That's why I said one of the firsts.
2018.
So, next week's episode, we are going to be on. We are taking a little break. Not a break. We're basically taking a break from government conspiracy. And we're going into our Halloween episodes, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, our next week's episode is actually going to be the real case of Emily Rose. And I want people to listen because, again, as you can tell, the back and forth is really good between us. Even though it's not government stuff, we will be back with government stuff. I'm telling you. All new government conspiracies.
Well, that'll be season 4, part B.
That'll be season 4, part B. That'll be starting in November.
Yeah, we're taking a minor break for Halloween season.
Because we did this last year.
Season.
And it's going to be our spooky
and
spectacular.
Don't forget, you want to tell everybody, too, that we're going to be...
Buy our fucking mugs.
We are actually on the... we're doing an episode about Sleepy Hollow in Sleepy Hollow, New York. And I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking about Sleepy Hollow,
that
New York.
episode that actually gets released on Halloween itself. Halloween is on
and we're going to be going up there to do some video work. And, we'll give you the details. All right. I mean, if you guys are in an area and you want to stop in, we'd be more than glad to say, you know what? I'll bring some mugs with me. If you guys want some mugs, I'll give out some mugs.
Yes, Eric says buy the fucking mugs because he's about to be hired as a Black Ops member and he can do shit now.
Yo, bro, y'all don't want to know. First of all, you can't know.
All right, so
anyway,
we're going to end this episode, guys. Thank you for being here. Me and Dad are happy to be back in the booth this week.
Yeah, this was a pleasure. It really was.
Just remember, everybody, question everything.
Oh, yeah, to me.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Ryu West speaking. If you want to find out more about the Is This Real podcast, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/isthisrealpc or on Twitter at isthisrealpc or on Instagram at isthisrealpodcast, all one word.